my books are available on Amazon, dreallday.com/Amazon, hard copy and digital copy. Work on your game.
DreAllDay.com.
We're going to get right into this one today, and the topic is, as I said, personal branding. Steve Stanton, ACN, what's going on? Oh, Sean Stanton, ACN, what's going on, Sean Stanton? Everybody, when it comes to personal branding, obviously is a buzzword nowadays. I started building my brand, which I didn't even know was a brand, back in 2005. I started blogging on this free platform called Blogger. 2006, I put a VHS tape that I had of me playing basketball. I got it transferred to a digital file, put it on this new video website called youtube.com. And that was the start of building my brand. 4,900 videos later, 4,000 blog posts, 7 books later. Around 2009, 2010, I was talking to my sister. She was like, Dre, you done a great thing. You kind of built the brand out of what you were doing. And at that time, nobody was talking about building a brand. It was around 09, 010 where I realized that my basketball career was too many ups and downs. I had to start building my brand seriously. So I started getting more serious about making my website look better. I got more serious about how I was handling my YouTube content. And that's when it took off into what it's become now. Then around 2013, people started talking about building a brand. And now everybody wants to build a personal brand. Everybody, according to Forbes magazine, has a personal brand. Well, I want to tell you how to build that personal brand the right way so that you actually get the attention you want. You start to get the type of response that you want, and people start to know you for what your brand actually represents, instead of you just saying you have a generic personal brand. Because if everybody has a personal brand, then the average personal brand is not too interesting. So I'm going to go over with you 3 ways today you can start to build your personal brand the right way. And I'm going to tell you also that I have a webinar coming up on personal branding. It's going to be this weekend. All you got to do is click the link in my bio, or the link. Facebook is right there in the title. And for Periscope is right there in my bio. Click the link in my bio. That's the webinar updates page. Sign up right there and you'll get into that webinar. So going right into it. We're talking about going from egg to avatar. Y'all know what an egg is. The egg is when somebody first signs up for a social media account. You haven't put up a picture yet. What's going on, Mickey, Mayman? How you feeling? Where you checking in from? You put up, what's up, Deep 15P, how you feeling? When somebody first starts on the social media account, you know, they don't have a picture up there. It's just a big egg. Nobody knows who you are. You're there, but nobody knows who you are. Then the avatar is when you put your own picture up, you put your own identity to it. People now can identify you. They know who you are. They know what you're about. They know what they're going to get. They know what they expect. And then you deliver it over and over and over again. The more you do that, the more successful you do that and stay on brand, the more people are going to buy into what it is that you're doing. And I'm going to share with you how you're going to do that today. The number one thing that you're going to need to do when it comes to building your brand, going from egg to avatar, is this. You must know yourself. You must accept yourself, flaws and all. This is a very important point, because when I talk to people who want to build their personal brands, one of the things that the resistance that I often hear from people is, well, what about, I'm not a good writer, or, I'm not good on camera, or, I can't speak as smoothly as this person or as that person, or I've never done a live stream. I would be super nervous. I wouldn't even know how to handle it. And people start talking about what all their flaws are, all the things that they don't do well, all the things that they think might not be right. You wouldn't believe how many people have come to me and said, Dre, I want to start putting out videos to start building up my brand or to market my business. And I say, all right, I tell them exactly how to do it. I tell them, use your phone. I tell them, just start recording, talking about what you know. A week later, I talk to that person and say, how did it go with the videos? They say, well, I started recording, but I didn't like how I looked, so I deleted that one, started over. Then I deleted the next one, started over. Then I deleted the next one, started over. So how many videos do you have? 0. It's because they don't like the way they look, they don't like the way they sound, they don't like the way they write, they don't like the way they talk. Understand that your flaws are what people buy into. People don't buy into your perfections. Understand that every human being is imperfect. Nobody's a perfect human being. We want to see the flaws. There's a great book by Sally Hogshead. It's called How the World Sees You. If any of you ever heard of that book, Sally Hogshead, she's a speaker, she's also an author. The book is called How the World Sees You, and it's all about embracing not only your strengths, but also your weaknesses. And the main thing that people do wrong when it comes to building their brands, they try to hide the weaknesses or not put those weaknesses out there. They never accentuate their strengths enough. And then it comes out that they just become this generic commodity that nobody can buy into, because you're no different from the person standing next to you. If you want to stand out, you got to be like she says in the book. Yes, How the World Sees You is the name of the book. Just look it up. That's the only book by its title. You can't miss it. And she talks about accentuating who you are as a person, not necessarily your strengths, but people want more of you, not more perfection. They want you to be more of yourself. So you have to know who you are. You got to accept who you are, your flaws and all, because the best version of you is what sells. What sells is you, not your perfections, not your skills, not your experience, not your knowledge, but you personally, because nobody can duplicate you. We can duplicate what you know. I can read a book and learn the same thing that you read. I can go get a job at the same place you had a job. I can start the same type of business you had. I could go play in the same leagues that you played in, but I cannot duplicate who you are as a person. So if you really want to stand out in terms of your personal brand, the number one differentiating factor you have, your unique selling proposition of one thing that nobody can beat you at, is being yourself. So if you decline to be yourself, understand that you're putting yourself in a pool of competition with a million other people who also have declined to be themselves, and hey, good luck trying to sell yourself as a commodity. The number two thing that you must do when it comes to building your personal brand is you must do something different from what's already out there. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you have to do something that is completely out of the universe of what's already been done. For example, I built my brand on playing basketball. Am I the first basketball player that you ever heard of? Some of you don't even know that I played basketball. Aside from me saying that, you didn't even see me play basketball. Maybe you heard of me within the last 6 months. You never even seen me play basketball. But what I did with basketball was take the fact that I was going to the gym every day. I brought a camera with me, recorded myself working out, put those videos on YouTube. Nobody was doing that before. So that was the new thing that I did. It doesn't necessarily have to be you create a new sport. You don't have to create a new business. You don't have to create a new product or start up the next Facebook. All you have to do is take something that already exists, maybe, and you have to put a new twist on it. Do it in a way that it hasn't been done before. And that's something that, if you do that with your personal brand, you're able to press it. When I say press it, it means keep putting it out there and establishing that you are the person for this thing. That's the platform that you can build your brand on. It's kind of like building a 50-story skyscraper is the foundation. You ever see a skyscraper being built or a new condo being built? A whole lot of time is spent on the ground level where you don't see anything else going on. There's no actual building going up, but it's all this dirt, and you see all the construction workers out there, and you see the trucks moving the dirt around. You're like, what exactly are they doing? They've been doing that for like months now. It's because they're building the foundation. They got to drive those steel beams so deep into the ground, because if you're going to build a tower 50 feet high, not 50 feet, but 50 floors high, imagine how deep those beams got to be to make sure that the tower doesn't topple down when the wind blows, or there's a hurricane, or there's a whole bunch of people on the left side of the building and not on the right side of the building. So you got to build the foundation. The foundation is you doing something that hasn't been done before, but actually pressing that advantage until everybody knows that you are the person for that topic. James Altucher calls it becoming the source. If you've never heard of James, read his stuff. His name is Altucher, Altucher. Look him up online. Great source of information. And as I said, become the source, which means you put out so much information on a certain topic that everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows you're the person that has that information, and they start to come to you for it. And then eventually you can turn that into business. And I'll talk about that on my live webinar, which you can click on the link, Facebook, and in my bio, Periscope, which will tell you more information about that. But when it comes to doing something unique, as I told you about doing basketball with YouTube. We talk about somebody like Kim Kardashian. I mean, a lot of people, when she first started to blow up, a lot of people were criticizing her, saying, well, Kim Kardashian, she's just famous for doing nothing. I mean, she wasn't the first person to become famous for doing nothing. You had famous heiresses before. You had people in the Kennedy family way before social media era. You had Paris Hilton a little bit before it, but that was when the reality TV era came out. And there was a lot of negativity to people for doing the exact same thing. But what Kim Kardashian did is she actually embraced it. She embraced it and built her whole brand around the fact that, yes, there is no one particular skill that I'm selling. But guess what? You still love me. You're still paying attention to me. You still buy the magazines that I'm in. You still watch me on social media. You still tuning into my TV show on E. And guess what? I'm unapologetic about it. She embraced the exact same thing that many people have been criticized for before, and she built her entire platform on it. And now her and her family are arguably the biggest family in all of social media. Actually, I don't think there's even an argument. So she embraced the thing that was already happening. It wasn't new, but she did it in a new way, and she built her entire platform on that. And look how many people are watching her now. Look how many eyes and ears she has now. And by the way, the Kim Kardashian app is an excellent app. I don't actually use it, but I saw my lady using it, and I need to make an app that looks something like that. I need a professional looking app that looks like that. Anybody knows how to make an app, get in touch with me. But anyway, next thing that I was talking about, when it came to be a professional speaker, I'll tell y'all a little story about me. And back in 2014, about a year and a half ago, I decided I wanted to get into the professional speaking business, and I thought in order to get into the speaking business, I couldn't be this. I thought, if I come out with the hat and I come out with the cursing saying work on your fucking game, and I'm talking the way that I normally talk to people, talk the way that I talk when I play basketball, talk the way that I talk in the environment that I came from, the type of people that I deal with, that it wouldn't be accepted. I thought if I came out that way, it'd be like, all right, this guy's not professional. This guy isn't formal enough. So I had some photos where I had suits on. I do wear suits sometimes too. That's part of who I am. But I started to try to change my whole layout. I started to change it into this speaker guy, I'm this formal guy, I'm this suit and tie guy. And guess what? I got zero traction, zero results, nothing whatsoever. Nobody was buying into it. I wasn't even buying into it because it wasn't the real version of myself. What I ended up doing, I had a conversation with my mentor maybe about 6 to 8 months after I had tried to make that transition. And she said, listen, you need to stop trying to be this different version of you. You need to just be the version of yourself who you are. Then I read that Sally Hogshead book, the book that I was talking about. And what happened is I started pressing my brand again. I started talking. I started using the curse. I started using the work on your fucking game again. What happened? I got accepted I did 2 TED Talks. I actually just got an email yesterday. Someone wants me to do another TED Talk, but I might have to turn the shit down just because of logistical reasons. But all these things started popping off and happening the right way for me as soon as I started embracing what the brand was. It wasn't about you trying to fit in to a certain format. It's not about you trying to fit into what everybody else is doing. It's about you being the best version of who you are. If you got the game, you got the goods, people are going to buy it anyway. Number 3 thing you need to do, and this is the most important one. This is the most important one out of everything. When it comes to building your brand, you are going to have these, what I call, who do you think you are moments. Who do you think you are moments? Moments of truth. These are the moments where you have to ask yourself, do I have the audacity? Do I have the gall? Do I have the balls? Do I have the testicular fortitude to put myself out there in this way or in that way, or to say this or to do this? These moments are going to come up for all of you. It's going to be the who do you think you are moments. And these who do you think you are moments are going to be the moments that determine where your brand goes. If we look back at the Kim Kardashian example, what happened to her? She came out, she started to get known a little bit. She was hanging with Paris Hilton, and then this sex tape came out. Ray J and her, the sex tape came out, and a lot of people were, outraged or ridiculing her about the sex tape. And this was her who do you think you are moment. She didn't try to cover up the sex tape. She didn't try to act like it wasn't her on the sex tape. She didn't denounce the sex tape. What did she do? She embraced it. Some people may say that she actually encouraged the spread of this tape so more people could see it, so more people could know her name, despite the fact that it was only through a sex tape. And look at the result of what happened from there. Some people say because she put it out. Hey, whatever you want to say. But guess what? If she did put it out, that's one of those moments that I said, who do you think you are to do a sex tape and put it out and get famous off that? How many people have done it before? And that's my point. She took something that's been done, but sex tapes been out before. We've seen people's genitalia on the internet before, and they didn't want it. They try to act like it didn't happen. They try to cover it up. They try to get rid of it. But what did she do? She embraced it. She let it go. She said, I want everybody to see it. I want everybody to know my name. If this is the way they got to know my name, this is exactly how we're going to do it. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, what is your who do you think you are moment? When is that who do you think you are moment coming? There's going to be a moment where you're about to do a live stream on the internet or a webinar. You're about to write a blog post. You're about to go up on stage and you're going to say something that somebody might look at you and say, who do you think you are to be standing up there saying that? Who do you think you are to say you're an expert on this area? Who do you think you are to blog about this topic? Who do you think you are to come out and talk as if you're the authority on this issue? And most of the time, this is what you got to catch. Is that the who do you think you are moment, the person saying who do you think you are is not somebody in the audience, is not somebody on the internet, is not a person watching your live stream video, is the person in the mirror, is yourself. You're the person saying who do you think you are to put yourself out there in this area? Who do you think you are to go blog this? Who do you think you are to take this next step in your business? Who do you think you are to go launch this brand? Who do you think you are? And you got to be able to look that person back in the mirror. You got to be able to look that person back in their face and say, I'm putting this out. I'm putting myself out there. And understand that moment where you cross that line, most people stop at that line. It's kind of like coming to the edge of a cliff. Most people stop there. You got to jump off with 2 feet. You jump off with 2 feet, you're going to be into an era, into a space that you're not going to have much competition, because most people don't know themselves. They don't accept themselves for who they are. They don't do anything different from what's already being done. And when they have that who do you think you are moment, you know what they do? They stop and they turn around and go back to where they were before. So as long as you don't make that mistake, you'll be able to take advantage of the who do you think you are moments. All right, so let me recap all three. Anybody got any questions? I will take questions here. 3 things that you're going to do to start building your personal brand. Number 1, this is going from egg to avatar. Number 1, know yourself, accept yourself, flaws and all. The world does not want a perfect version of you. They just want the most you version of you, and that includes the flaws. Number 2, do something different. It could be the same thing that's already been done in a similar way, but you got to have some spin on it, some twist that makes it a little bit different. And number 3, the who do you think you are moments. There'll be moments when you're questioning yourself, what's going on, D-Zeal. Moments you're questioning yourself, moments you're like, who am I to say this? Moments that somebody else might think it, moments that you think that somebody else is thinking it. And if you go back at that moment, then you just went right back to being an egg. You're a chicken that jumped right back in the egg that's already cracked. It doesn't work, but guess what? You're going to be right in there. You're going to be a 9-year-old boy riding in a stroller at the mall. You don't want to be that person. So when you get to that who do you think you are moment, you had to decide. That's your moment of truth. Am I going to cross this line and never turn back, or am I going to go back to where I was before and just stay there? Any questions? I'll take them right now. Is a startup the same like a brand? Not necessarily. I'm talking about personal branding for one person. A startup is usually a company. So a company is an entity, a personal brand is an individual human being. So it's a little bit different. All right, so questions. John asks us, what does WOYG stand for? We took care of that. Thank you, Kevin Jerome. What's going on, Alexander Lee? How much water do I drink every day? I don't know. I don't measure. I just keep drinking it. I just keep drinking it till I ain't thirsty no more. Any other questions that anybody got here? This is Dre All Day. Y'all are talking to live. We are talking personal branding going from egg to avatar. It is, what time is it? 2 p.m. Eastern. Everybody watching on replay, shout out to my replay viewers on Facebook and Periscope. Is it more important to try to produce the best content out or brand yourself with the content you currently have? Both. I mean, in social media, you're always putting out new content. You can't just rest on the content you got because there's so many other people putting stuff out, people will forget you even exist. Yeah, people always ask me about water, but I'm always drinking it, so I don't mind. People always ask me what does WOYG stand for too, but it's okay. Any other questions that I can take? Going once, going twice. I'm on Snapchat at Dre Baldwin. Instagram is also at Dre Baldwin. My Twitter is at Dre All Day. Business inquiries, Dre at DreAllDay.com. How old am I? I'm 34. I turned 34 exactly a month ago, February 3rd, 2016. Yes, that's right, Darrog Riley. I appreciate that. Absolutely right. That's what that is. I'm looking for some people who want to work. I got some jobs that need to be done, some spaces that need to be filled. If you want to work with me, go to DreAllDay.com/biz, B-I-Z, DreAllDay.com/biz. I'll be in touch. What do I use Snapchat for? Go to my Snapchat and find out. I appreciate you, Wonder Woman. Is my brand WOYG or WOYFG? It's both of them. I own both of them. What you mean? My brand is all that. Dre All Day too. All right, we wrapping this one up, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know how to reach me. If you're on social media, I told you Snapchat at Dre Baldwin. Business inquiries, Dre at DreAllDay.com. You want to work with me, go to DreAllDay.com/biz. And I will catch y'all there. Webinar, click the link in my bio, Periscope. The link's right there in the title. Facebook, webinars. There are a couple that are already up that you can watch right now. You can either choose the time that you watch that webinar. Just go to that link right there that I gave you. It has all the information. And oh yeah, work on your fucking game. DreAllDay.com. Make sure you get my first book, Buy a Game. It is free. Click the link right here below in the video description. I'm on all your favorite social media platforms, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope. All the links are right down here below. Is either Dre Baldwin or Dre All Day on each one of those sites. And make sure you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button down there and the thumbs up like button. Subscribe so you catch all the new content. I work on your game. Dre All